and welcome back to Gugu's Kitchen, and if you are new here then hello and welcome. My name's Alexis, and during the month of December, to help you with the festive season, I'm going to be posting 4 times a week on a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday and Sunday at 7 AM. So if you love recipe videos like this one and you want to see more, then please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And now I'm going to share with you how to make my delicious prawns in a tomato rice. As I just mentioned, today I want to share with you how to make my delicious prawns in a tomato rice. Now this recipe is really easy to do, and I thought this would make a really nice meal to have during the festive season. We normally have salmon on Christmas Eve, but we might have prawns this year, and we may even have this dish. I love prawns, my son loves prawns, and so does my husband, so it's definitely a family favourite. We're actually going to be having it for dinner this evening, and of course, while I was making it, I thought I'd share the recipe with you. So here is how to make my delicious prawns in a tomato rice. The first thing I've done is I've put a large pan onto a high heat, and I'm going to add a little bit of oil to the base of my pan, like so. And then I'm just going to spread that oil around as evenly as I can by tilting the pan. And I'm going to leave this pan to heat up now. So my pan is nice and hot, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add an onion that I have peeled, sliced and diced. And I'm just going to fry my onion now until it starts to soften. And my onion has started to soften, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in 1 red pepper. So I sliced the top off and I removed the core and the stalk, and then all I did was slice and dice the flesh of the pepper. So I'm going to put that into my frying pan now, or saucepan even. And I'm going to fry that as well until it starts to soften. The red pepper will take a lot longer than the onion to soften. So while that's cooking, you may need to reduce the heat slightly. And I'm also going to add a little bit of water as well, because I find this actually softens the pepper slightly quicker as well, and it also stops everything from sticking to the bottom of the pan and burning as well. So yes, I'm going to continue to fry my red pepper and my onions now. So the onion and the red pepper have started to soften, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in 1 courgette that I've peeled and sliced. So I'm just going to put that in. Normally I would grate it, but I forgot this time, so my son will have to know that there's courgettes in our dinner. He doesn't really like them, but never mind. Once it all cooks down, he probably won't even notice they're there, to be honest. So yes, I am going to continue to fry the courgette until it starts to soften, and the courgette won't take as long as the red pepper and the onion to cook. It should only take a few minutes really, so I'm just going to continue to fry all of these ingredients now. The courgettes and everything has started to soften beautifully now, so I'm going to add in my rice. So I have half the ingredients for this, and I've added a little one as well. So I've got 2 portions and a little one. So I think I've got about 160 grams of rice here. So that will do for Ted, Howard and I. And that's the beauty of this dish as well, is you can add portions of rice, you could add more red pepper, you could take out the red pepper if you don't like it, you could add more courgette if you wanted to bulk it out a bit more as well. So if you are having quite a few people to come for dinner over the Christmas period, then this would make a great dish, because you could just add more rice and more vegetables. So yes, I'm just going to add that. I have washed my rice through twice in the sink through that colander, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fry the rice in the pan along with all of the other vegetables. And I find that brown rice is a lot like risotto rice. After a while it tends to go clear and see-through, and this I find is a good time to add the liquid that you want to add. So I'm going to add a tin of tomatoes to this. As I said, I've halved the ingredients, but I think the original recipe it did say 1 tin of tomatoes, so that's fine, that'll do Ted Howard and I. And then I'm going to add about 300 mils of chicken stock to this as well. And I'm going to pour it into the can because this is a good way to get rid of the juice from the bottom of the can. My grandmother taught me that trick. God bless you, Lily Giron, wherever you are now. Hopefully resting in peace. So yes, I'm going to put that in there. And then I'm just going to check. So the line there, that's perfect. So the liquid, I put it onto the top of all the ingredients at the bottom of the pan, and the liquid comes up to about 2 centimetres from the ingredients at the bottom to the top of the liquid. So I'm going to leave it like that. That's a perfect amount of liquid in there, and that should cook perfectly. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some oregano to this, or oregano, depending on which country you're in. So I'm just going to sprinkle some of that over. And then I'm going to add some tamari as well. So I'm just going to add a tablespoon of tamari to this. And then I'm also going to add some salt and pepper. And of course, I've forgotten an ingredient. I haven't forgotten the prawns, don't worry, they go in at the end. I've forgotten the tomato puree, so I'm just going to have to go and get some tomato puree. So I'm just going to add a pinch of salt, and I've added a little bit of pepper as well. And I'm going to leave this to come to the boil while I go and get the tomato puree. So I'm just going to add a tablespoon, I might add a little bit more, of tomato puree. And I'm going to mix those ingredients round. And as I said, I'm just going to leave this now. And I'm going to let all of these ingredients come to the boil. And then I'll turn it down and leave it to simmer. The liquid in the pan has started to come to the boil. So although this is already on a sort of medium to high heat, I'm going to turn it down slightly, and I'm just going to leave everything to simmer until all of the liquid is absorbed into the rice. The rice is cooked, and I can tell because all of the liquid when I pulled the rice back has disappeared. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in my prawns, and these should take about 3 minutes to cook. So I'm just going to put the prawns in with the rice, and as the rice is really nice and hot, they shouldn't take too long to cook. So I'm just going to continue to cook these prawns in this rice now. So as I was using uncooked prawns, that's why they took a little while to cook in the pan. The prawns have cooked. If you are using cooked prawns, you would obviously only need to just add them at the end. And the final ingredient to go in is a handful of spinach. So I'm just going to put this in and let this wilt down. So I'm going to mix it in with all the other ingredients and let it wilt down. And then once that's all wilted down, like so, that is our dinner done. That's how you make my delicious prawns in a tomato rice, and that recipe I will link in the description box below for you. As I mentioned earlier, we're going to be having this for our dinner this evening, and it smells so good I can't wait to eat it. So for now, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to give me a big thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and please feel free to leave any comments below. And please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. See you all soon. Bye.